Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Manisha Misra. Thank you so much for watching this video. And as you have already known from the title given that I'm going to discuss or I'm going to talk to you about the books that I have read completely, or maybe I have referred to while pursuing my bachelor's degree in English honors and also post-graduation in English. So this is particularly the books, this is going to be a recommendation of books that you should follow as a student of English literature. And of course there are so many videos about it, that what are the books that you need to refer to and everything. But most of the videos I have seen that teachers are recommending certain books that we don't find it that easy to read, or maybe can't read it because we haven't reached to that standard of reading books. So we need to access the easy books, easy standard books first, to be able to understand the basic and fundamental of the literature, English literature, and then we can jump onto end-use senders, right? So I'll be talking about the books, and let's start the video. So the first thing, the first book and the first most important thing that comes into our mind while talking about English literature is the history of English literature, which I myself was having no particular idea. I was a science stream student till 12th, and then I took English literature by God's grace. In graduation arts लिया मैंने, तो उसमें मैंने English literature लिया without having any particular idea about, at least people now, you guys are at least having idea ki what are the things that we need to read. And it is not about reading only novels. Let me tell you, Chetan Bhagat and all these things are not there. It is not particularly about reading novels. It is more about reading criticism, essays, history of English literature. It is also about reading literary terms. It is also about reading cultural studies, theories, essays, and all those things. So don't pick up English literature just because you think that it is quite easy to read. Like you have to spend much of your time reading novels. Yes, you have to read novels, but no, you don't have to read novels like Chetan Bhagat and novels like Harry Potter and novels like some Dujya Datta. So you can read in the leisure time, but it's not in the course book, right? So of course Chetan Bhagat is also and Harry Potter is also included in the postmodern and Commonwealth literature, fantasy fiction and all those things में आ जाता है, लेकिन it's not particularly about it. So questions don't come from that section more, and it's more about the classic literature, right? First we will be talking about the history of English literature. So for history of English literature, I've always told my students to prefer taking a book which is comparatively easy in language. Don't start from end-use senders. Don't start from Poplawski at once. It is going to it will make you feel that you can't understand. You will invest much of your time reading all those books with a pencil, with a dictionary, with several other things, and you will get confused. So start from an easy book. When we started reading English literature, history of English literature in our graduation, we started from Raghukul Tilak and B. Prasad also. So Raghukul Tilak was something that was like, our teachers don't prefer Raghukul Tilak, but some of the lecturers actually told us, some of the teachers actually told us that you need to start from basic. Like we have to understand that the professor that or the lecturer that is teaching us, the standard and understanding of that lecturer is completely different from the standard and understanding of a student who is going to start reading, who is a beginner of English literature. So for that I will tell you to refer to this English literature by William J. Long. This is by far one of the best narration given by a writer about English literature. You won't feel there is any difficulty in understanding. You won't feel there would be something like the language or the narration is difficult or tough to understand. It is very easy, very simple, and it's actually very informative at the same time. So I prefer reading from this book. So it feels like someone is actually reading out a narrative, and it doesn't feel like something is written, information, fact, then information. You just have to write down. So it is the facts and information about the history of English literature given in a more simpler and story manner. Like the narrative is really interesting. So you can grasp the whole idea. Like history हमको कैसे समझ में आएगा जब हमको कोई उससे कोई उस चीज को कहानी जैसे सुनाए, तो हमको थोड़ा सा इजी होगा उसको समझने के लिए. और एल्स देयर आर सो मेनी अदर बुक्स जहाँ पे कि फैक्ट्स पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट दिया जाता है, उसको याद रखना है या तो रट्टा मारो और लिखो. this can be done. Of course this can be done, but you can understand more particularly the history of English literature when you will grasp the whole story in a story format, like not in a fact format. So this is a book that you should prefer. The students who are starting to the beginners of English literature, like who are actually doing graduation in English honors, can refer to this book, English Literature by W.J. Long. The only demerit of this book is it is up to Victorian age, I think so. Yeah, no, it is there up to 20th century. It does not include postmodern literature. So it does not include postmodern literature. That is the problem this book has. So for that you can refer to some other book, and in that some other book I would like to refer to I won't say you to read Andrew Sanders all of a sudden, because that's really difficult to grasp. And after doing my post graduation only, I started to read from Paul Poplawski. So Paul Poplawski is also another brilliant writer who has written so many like in a way that most people can understand. Of course the language is difficult. Of course the language is difficult when compared to W.J. Long. So you prefer, like after reading this book you will get the idea, right, कैसे समझना है, कैसे पढ़ना है, तो उसके बाद अपने हिसाब से आप बुक सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं. लेकिन Paul Poplawski is also a good book. Edward Albert is also a good book. Andrew Sanders, I'm not saying that it is not a good book. It's brilliant book, but we as a student cannot grasp its language, its way of narrative. So we need to take a very like medium and easy standard of book. Okay, so now I'm telling for the beginners, right? There are so many people in the comment section who are asking me questions that I'm going to be in the graduation of English literature student batch में मैं होने वाली हूँ या होने वाला हूँ. So what are the books that you can recommend to me? So that for that perspective, these are the books. So we're now moving on to the other topic, that is literary terms. So for literary terms, you have plenty of books that are already recommended by so many other professors or lecturers in YouTube video. But for me as a student, I would like to say you that literary terms or a glossary of literary terms by M.H. Abrahams, Geoffrey Hafam is the book that you should prefer. This is the book that you should actually prefer because it is compact, because it has all the required informations and facts about English literature in it in a compact form. Like it is about all there are almost of course I have the 10th edition. I think 11th edition is also there or something. A new edition has also come in the market, so you can refer to this book for literary terms. It has about the history of English literature in a very compact format. It has given so many informations about the criticism, different types of movement, post-colonial literature. It has about feminism, it has about Marxism, it is also, and it is of course about literary terms from starting to A to Z. Everything is there, like all the literary terms that comes under all these letters, everything is there. So starting from absurd, I think so. I have read so much from this book and it is really helpful if you are a student of English literature. If you have started to read or whatever, then please grab this book. This is really important. Okay, so moving on, I have done my post-graduation in English literature and linguistics, right? So linguistics is also a very important thing for the literature students. And so what are the books that you can refer to it? So initially when English as a global language was an important topic for us, so for that we refer to Macmillan's this Lalita Ramamurthy has written this history of English language and elements of phonetics. This was also a very like helpful book for us to read. I have read so many things about like phonetics, and there are a lot of things like basic of the language and linguistics is also given, the origin of language and the Germanic and Teutonic family of languages, Old English, Modern English, Middle English, loan words in English, from where we have taken these words in English, and literary coinages. So there are mostly topics. It's not more particularly about phonetics and phonemics. Of course there are a lot of things about phonetics and phonemics, but to be able to read that, I will recommend one more book about it. And for just being able to know about the facts of English as a language, the origin of English as a language and everything, you should refer to this book. It has word formation in English, etymology and change in meaning, standard English, English today, what is grammar, approaches to grammar, grammatically and acceptability. These all are the things about the basic, like fundamentals of the language, English language. And then comes the part 2, elements of phonetics, right? So it has phonetics, speech mechanism, description of sounds, vowels, that we know, that diphthongs and pure vowels and everything, description of sounds, consonants, vowels, phonology and prosodic feature. But this book should be referred more particularly to be able to know more about English as a global language and its fundamental concept, and to be able to know more about modern linguistics, particularly the phonemic transcriptions, the sounds that we need to produce and everything, like all the technical things, right? I always use the word technical things because I feel that English, in English literature, the linguistics are the maths. So we need to understand and we have to apply. Understand and apply. So that's what I believe is linguistics. So modern linguistics is an introduction by S.K. Verma and N. Krishna Swami. This book is really handy and this is really helpful. So if you can see this book, I will also put the picture of this book, and maybe I will share the description in the description box, the link. I will be sharing the link so that you can directly buy that from anything. So this was there in our MA in English literature. This book was recommended to us by one of our professor, and it has everything. It has everything, literally everything about the language, about the linguistics, about morphology, about phonology, phonemes, phonemic transcription, morphemes. Every particular thing is there in aspects, levels, branches and tools, phonetics, vowels and consonants, diphthongs, which we have already told, which I have already told. These are the things that are provided in that book also, Macmillan. But structural linguistics, morphology, words and morphemes, affixes, and there are so many other things like the transformational framework and other approaches are also there. So this is the book, guys, for like modern linguistics. To be able to understand linguistics properly, you have to read this. You might find linguistics a bit difficult, or you might find it the most easiest thing. There are two things, either very easy or maybe difficult. So there's no middle. So you have to approach this book, you have to read this book properly to be able to understand linguistics properly. So this is the book that I'm going to recommend, modern. I also wanted to tell you, there are so many other students who have been asking me about what are the books that you prefer to prepare for NET exam. This is not sponsored at all. This is not like this is only my personal opinion, my personal recommendation to you guys. This is the book that I was talking about, Practice Workbook of English Literature, The Depth Unlimited, based on the latest syllabus of UGC NET, and it is actually based on the UGC NET syllabus. There are so many questions. The total number of practice sets are 55. There are 55 practice sets, and the total number of questions that you will solve from this book would be 2750. 2750. So this is going to be really helpful for those who are going to appear UGC NET or maybe SET or maybe GET. So the first 5 sets provides us with that, the description, but the other 50 sets are only about the MCQs. We have to solve it, and the MCQs correct answer is only mentioned. The description is not mentioned. So the first 5 sets are really important. The other things are also important. It is just to know that how we need to prepare. I'll make a video again about how we need to prepare from MCQs, how one can prepare from multiple choice questions and syllabus more particularly. So this is the book that I'm going to recommend to you. Get this book. This is really important, and start practicing from it. So more you will practice, you will get to know more about English literature. You can't you can't claim that I have read everything about English literature at any point of your life, at any freaking point of your life. You can't tell that I have completely read English literature. There are so many things. It is a very vast subject. So you need to keep grasping knowledge. You need to keep reading more and more and more. So yes, this is the book that I wanted to recommend. Also for UGC NET paper 1, there is one book of Arihant, I think, of Arihant, that is also very helpful. That is a good book. It has a lot of examples and in a very good way it is explained to us, so that it will be easy for us to understand. And previous year questions are also, for paper 2 also I refer to Arihant. That book is there, that huge UGC NET paper 2 Arihant book is there, the multiple choice questions, and there are so many multiple choice questions as well as solved questions of every year as per the topics are also given. So it is quite helpful. It is really informative, point by point हर चीज का description अच्छे से दिया गया है. The only minus point or negative point of that book, Arihant paper 2 book is for UGC NET, is that its multiple choice questions are quite like the answers given are quite wrong. Go by that. I would like to say you कि अगर बेहतर होगा कि आप उसका डिस्क्रिप्शन जो भी दिया गया है, इंफॉर्मेशन जो भी दिया गया है उससे पढ़ें, लेकिन उसका क्वेश्चन आंसर जब आप सॉल्व करें तो डोंट लुक एट द एमसीक्यूज का आंसर जो दिया गया है उस पे ना देखकर आप अपने गूगल सर्च में चेक कर लें कि ये आंसर ठीक है कि नहीं है. आई एम गोइंग टू एंड दिस वीडियो. दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द लॉन्गेस्ट वीडियो बाय फार आई हैव अपलोडेड. So I am going to end this video. All the best for GET exam. All the best to all the aspirants of NET exam. It is not easy to qualify UGC NET in English. I am telling you, don't get disheartened if you didn't qualify this time, or if you haven't qualified for the 4th time. Don't get disheartened. Just have patience and keep on reading. And I'm really sorry for the sounds and like the disturbing noises coming in the videos from the outside. Unfortunately my room is very near to the road, and I'm living in village, so the cows sound might be disturbing you as well, so please bear it. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe to see more such of videos, more about my life, more about English literature, how I read and how I am a student as well as I'm a lecturer. I was a lecturer. I'm not a lecturer right now. And what are the life experiences, what I'm going through right now. Everything I'm going to share with you. Keep following Manisha Mr. Thank you.